Okay, I'll see how close I can get to the. We got the seagull on the right, and on the left is it's a young great blue heron. I'll see how long it stays still. Hopefully, there you go. That's a young one. Well, it's nice to meet you, blue heron. Yeah, I bet back in the day there was no end to the numbers of birds in the bird flocks that came here. Well, that would have to be less than 3,000 years ago, of course, but I can imagine it would have looked like a hunter's happy hunting ground, a Garden of Eden. It would have been, I don't think you would have had words to describe what you would see if you were there at the time. Okay. Okay. There you go, graceful seagull. Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Well, so far I've made my best finds out at this area of the, out at this area of the tidal flat. So that's a paleo point there. If I make any errors in judgment, yeah, you can form your own too. It's not like I carry a computer with me and can turn on open a Google page. Out here I can only guess until I get back home. What the heck is that? Well, obviously this isn't an accident. This, oh my God, I gotta keep this. Well, no, I'm not gonna keep it. But I will point out one important feature of this. This has a groove. Well, two grooves. There is only one thing that this was going to be turned into. I'll stand this upright and it's easier for me to explain. Okay, they were going to turn this into an atlatl stone. An atlatl stone weight. They would have drilled a hole through the center part, and they would have stuffed it on to the back end of an atlatl arrow holder, and that would have given you weight. That would have given the atlatl thrower weight behind the arrow. It was the weight of the stone behind the arrow that gave it, that also gave it its penetration power when it hit its target. But this is how atlatl stones started out. Exactly like this. Like wings. Yep, like wings. This is a Paleo-Indian start for an atlatl stone weight. An atlatl stone weight. Beautiful find. That is a beautiful find. Now I'm sure with all that, when the herd animals would number in multitudes, because they had all the grazing land they ever wanted, all it would take is for a family of hunters to lob a bunch of spears and atlatl arrows in amongst the herd to get something. Now what do I see down here? Oops, don't mind me. Another paleo point. Well, they're not as good as modern arrows, but hey, this point with enough force behind it, but it would have caused a whole lot of damage to some poor animal, and a hunter would have had hide to clothe himself with, and oh, this is a nice adze. That's a nice piece of work. There's a nice paleo point. I'd love to take that atlatl weight thing home, but I really can't. What is this? It looks like another axe. In fact, I'm sure it is. I think the only reason that it's in good shape, it was held securely by the earth and the seaweed. Oh man. There's 2 points, 1 and 2. Yeah, this is a falsum axe. That is a falsum axe. That is an exciting find. Yes, indeedy. One falsum axe. Right now. There. I'll give it back to the bay. Maybe the spirit of some falsum hunter, some falsum father is still trying to cut wood to form a spear, or to make a, or to frame in a shelter to hang hides over. If you remember, it's between the Falsum people were here since 10,500 BP, and there was only stunted firs that were growing here, so they didn't have a whole lot of choice of wood to use. Here's some chert. That's a volcanic rock. Now, if they could find big pieces of flint or chert, that would have been great. They would have turned those into beautiful works of art, deadly hunting points. This is kimberlite igneous rock. They would have been able to use spark technology off this if they found the right piece of chert or flint, or even granite might even spark off this. I don't know how common marcasite was in this area 5,000 years ago. Oh yeah, that's that artsy piece of work that I found. Hello. Sorry. Yeah, that is something else, that one. Okay. Well, I should check the time. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a moment, or actually I don't have to really pause it. I want to check the time. To 4. I got lots and lots of time. The full extent of low tide will occur at like 5:39. So I got lots and lots of time. That would have been a nice working chisel. Actually, That could have been very easily an axe. Oh my God, it was. Yes, indeedy, this was an axe. This back end fit into a hole in a wooden handle, and it fit in to the point where you could, where my thumb was running down, you could take cordage, a sinew, or some kind of strong cordage, and secure this into your tree, and then you can go, except it would be on a handle, and that would cut your wood. But as you can tell, this here is a brittle wood. That stone is brittle enough, they probably would have had to renew their axe quite often. Now, if they had an axe of flint, so almost hard as that's hard as iron, then they wouldn't have to replace their axe that often. These flint axes sometimes left marks like a beaver. While the other stone axes left a more even cut. Anyone that's ever experimented with this stuff would understand. They would have seen it with their own eyes. Anyone that ever tried to make their own stone tomahawks or axes, etc. What am I looking at here? Oh, that's that kimberlite. Yeah, this is the way this kimberlite forms. It wasn't rubbed into existence by the use of another stone. This was how it was formed. I do not know if there's more of that kimberlite. You definitely, if you bang these two pieces together, if you bang them together hard enough, you're going to see some like sparks come off. But you have to do it at night or in the evening in order to see the sparks. And those are the sparks that you would have to have the right kind of tinder for. Well, in my mind, I would use really dry charcoal. Crush them up, and some really dry grass tinder. It has to be really fine though, and you could nurse a fire into existence using old charcoal, and of course other tinder. Okay. That's that really old shale, but I'm trying to think. No, it's not an effigy of any kind. It's just maybe a piece of break-off shale. I don't know. Or something that someone never finished. Are there any surprises there? There might be, you never know. I think today that we found quite a few little surprises. Well, I don't know what that is. I know it's a rock, but it doesn't resemble any tool that I can think of, unless... No, if they were using it as a whetstone, it would have left scoring marks. So I think that's just a recent accident from weather. nice big crabby. Well, I'm not reaching in there. No, you can have that little space. Yes, you can. Yes, crab, you can have that little space. Here, hide. You might have big pincers, but those seagulls know how to upset ya. Yep, turn it upside down and eat it from the belly, through the belly or the back end. I have a cat, Mittens, Bengal cat, and he tried to, it was 2 or 3 summers ago, he discovered bees on the father-in-law's lawn. And, oh well, anyway. What happens the first time you try to bite a bee? You get stung. He soon learned how to kill bees without getting stung. He used his paw to hold the back end down and bite the head off. That's what he did. Okay. Yeah, I bet a lot of people do not realize the treasures that are out here. Real treasures. Yeah, from scrapers to adzes to axes, spear points, lattice points, arrow points, and they all span a grand total of time of 10,000 years. Well, actually, a little more than that. I don't know. I would say that's an accident. Let's turn it. Yeah, just an accident. I do look forward to discovering more of the paleo rock artwork, the human figures and animal figures, etc. That is breathtaking. People weren't so crude then. I mean, they were crude because they were in a crude environment, but those people still had their religious beliefs. That's probably what would have scared the heck out of us had we been forced to suddenly live among them. What would they have thought about you or I in modern clothing with modern amenities? They probably would have killed us instantly, thinking that we were witches. Something like that. Because they believed in witchcraft. Just like the Indians that, the Indians, the Aboriginals that Champlain and Cartier met and all that. These Aboriginal peoples were very superstitious, very religious. If they mistrusted you, oh well, yeah, then you were in trouble. Okay, let's see what surprise is under this rock. Well, no real big surprises. It's not really a work stone. That's a false or a paleo arrow point right there. not just the back end would have fit into the arrow, and then it would have been wrapped. But that would have been the working end, right there. A paleo arrow point, or archaic woodland arrow point. Very small. Would have penetrated really fast, real easy. Because when these people made, when the Archaic period, mid-Archaic period to late Archaic period, that's when the bow came into existence. Their bows were not weak. Now, I think 50-pound bows or greater are what the common bow hunter uses here. But the bows that these Indians used had to be as good, as strong as that or better. Yeah, it's almost time to start a new video. I haven't even stopped to have a puff off my vape. The excitement of looking for artifacts and fossils really gets to you. You forget about your vape, you forget about cigarettes, you forget about food, you pretty much forget about everything, even time. Yep. Wait, I was already over on this side. Well, I'll say this wasn't nothing. At the most, they might have used it to, they might have formed it into an axe at some point, but they might have chipped off, they might have knocked off some arrowheads or ladleheads off it, but okay, yeah, time for me to start a new video.